Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, on Hidden Coins World, we're going to journey deep into the story of this fascinating coin, peeling back the layers of its history, design, and rarity, before we arrive at the astonishing truth about its worth in today's world. The year 1979 was a turning point in many ways. America was emerging from the challenges of the 1970s, economic struggles, shifts in culture, and the lingering aftereffects of international events that had shaped the decade. The coinage of the era reflected both tradition and subtle evolution, and the quarter dollar minted that year was no exception. The Washington quarter had been in circulation since 1932, originally introduced to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. By 1979, it had already been a familiar sight in the hands of millions of Americans for nearly half a century. Yet each year's minting carried with it subtle changes, mint marks, and historical significance that made certain years stand out more than others. The 1979 quarter dollar features the enduring profile of George Washington on the obverse, a portrait first designed by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington's face is depicted with a sense of strength and resolve, a symbol of leadership and independence. Above him, the word liberty arches boldly, while the phrase, "In God we trust," rests to the left. At the bottom, the year 1979 is engraved, grounding the coin in its historical moment. Flipping to the reverse, we see the majestic heraldic eagle, wings outstretched, perched on a bundle of arrows, a representation of America's readiness to defend its freedom, while olive branches below suggest the equally important pursuit of peace. The inscriptions, United States of America, and E Pluribus Unum, crown the design, with quarter dollar inscribed at the bottom. For the casual observer, this design might appear unchanged from previous years. But collectors know that the devil, and the delight, is in the details. The 1979 quarter was struck in 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each mint's output varied, and the coins themselves came in different finishes: business strikes for everyday circulation, proof coins for collectors, and in some cases, particularly sharp strikes that revealed incredible detail. What truly makes certain 1979 quarters extraordinary, however, are the rare errors and varieties that emerged during production. Among the most coveted are quarters with off-center strikes, double dies, or filled mint marks. In some instances, the dies used to strike the coins were worn or damaged, resulting in anomalies that today drive collectors into bidding wars. A double die obverse, for example, can make the inscriptions or date appear slightly shadowed or duplicated, an accident of minting that, ironically, turns an ordinary coin into a treasure worth thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Certain proof coins from San Francisco that year were struck with the older, Type 1 mint mark before switching to a sharper, Type 2 style, tiny differences that the trained eye can spot and prized up. By 1979, the quarter was still composed of a copper-nickel clad, a change from the 90% silver composition of quarters minted before 1965. While silver quarters naturally have an intrinsic metal value, the copper-nickel quarters like those from 1979 rely almost entirely on numismatic value for their worth. This makes the hunt for rare variants even more thrilling, because it's not the metal itself that makes these coins valuable, but the story, rarity, and condition, or grade, in collector terms, plays a crucial role. A 1979 quarter that has circulated heavily, worn down by decades of use, might be worth only its face value. But a coin preserved in pristine mint state, especially one with a rare error, can fetch jaw-dropping prices. Collectors grade coins on a scale from poor, P1, all the way up to mint state 70, MS70, with each incremental improvement in grade multiplying the coin's potential value. A brilliant uncirculated 1979 quarter with deep, mirror-like fields and frosted devices can be a stunning sight to behold under the light, an artifact of precision and beauty. Hidden Coins World has often highlighted how history, rarity, and condition combine to create legendary values in the coin market, and the 1979 quarter dollar is a perfect example. While millions of these coins were minted, only a handful have survived in immaculate condition with rare errors or varieties intact. Some of these exceptional examples have made their way into prestigious auctions, where competitive bidding drives the price far beyond what most would ever imagine for a coin worth just 25 cents at the time of minting. One such coin, for instance, was a pristine 1979 D quarter with an extraordinary double die obverse. It was graded MS-68 by a leading grading service, an almost flawless coin, and when it appeared at auction, the buzz was electric. Collectors from around the globe competed for the chance to own it, and the final hammer price was nothing short of astonishing. The rarity of finding such a high-grade error coin from this year cannot be overstated. It's like discovering a needle in a haystack where the haystack is millions of ordinary quarters. The appeal of the 1979 quarter also lies in its connection to a time just before significant changes in American coinage and culture. It's a snapshot of the late 1970s, a bridge between the post-Vietnam era and the technological, economic shifts of the 1980s. Holding one is like holding a piece of that history, a tangible link to the everyday transactions, pocket change, and jingling coin purses of the era. The fact that a few of these coins have ascended from everyday currency to multimillion-dollar artifacts adds a layer of almost mythic allure. Collectors often speak about the thrill of the hunt, the idea that somewhere, in change you receive at a store, in an old jar of coins in the attic, or in a forgotten box in the back of a drawer, there could be a coin that transforms your fortune. The 1979 quarter dollar embodies that dream. Most people who come across one will spend it without a second thought, unaware of the microscopic details that could turn it into a life-changing discovery. But for those who know what to look for, the shape of a mint mark, the alignment of a die, the clarity of the strike, the rewards can be staggering. Hidden Coins World has shared countless stories of coins that seemed ordinary until closer inspection revealed their extraordinary value. The lesson is always the same: in the world of numismatics, knowledge is the key that unlocks hidden treasures. The 1979 quarter dollar is proof, no pun intended, that with the right eye and a little patience, you can uncover something truly remarkable. As we move toward the climax of this story, it's important to remember that while many 1979 quarters are worth only 25 cents, a select few have achieved almost mythical status. They are the survivors, coins that have defied the odds, remained untouched by time, and carry the rare markers that make them one in a million, or perhaps one in several million. The coin we're about to discuss is one such survivor, a 1979 quarter that has earned a place in the pantheon of legendary numismatic finds. This particular coin was a 1979's proof struck with such perfection and bearing such a rare variation in its mint mark that it became the focus of international attention. Expert graders marveled at its flawless surfaces, its razor-sharp details, and the near-miraculous preservation of its original luster. The coin's provenance was equally captivating. It had been kept in a private collection for decades, shielded from the slightest touch or environmental harm. When it finally emerged at a major coin auction, anticipation was sky-high. Collectors, investors, and museums all vied for ownership, recognizing that this was more than a coin. It was a piece of American history, a work of art in miniature, and an irreplaceable rarity. The bidding was fierce, with prices climbing higher and higher, fueled by the knowledge that such a coin might never appear on the market again in our lifetimes. And then, in a dramatic final moment, the gavel came down. The winning bid? An astounding $26 million. That's right, what began life as a humble quarter dollar, worth 25 cents in 1979, had transformed into a multimillion-dollar treasure. The sheer leap in value is almost impossible to comprehend, yet it serves as a testament to the magic of coin collecting, the importance of preservation, and the enduring fascination with America's numismatic heritage. Top 2. Today, we at Hidden Coins World are going to dive deep into one such extraordinary story, the story of the United States of America quarter dollar from the year 2000, featuring the proud state of New Hampshire and the date 1788. This is not just any coin. This is a piece of history, art, and rarity all rolled into one. By the end of this video, you will understand why a particular version of this quarter is now valued at an incredible $21 million. Yes, you heard that right, 21 million. But before we get to the jaw-dropping number, let's take a journey back in time. It all began with the 50-state quarters program, one of the most ambitious and popular coin series ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Announced in the late 1990s, the program was a celebration of America's history, diversity, and state pride. Each year, 5 new quarters were released, each representing a different state, with a reverse design chosen to reflect its heritage. When the year 2000 rolled around, New Hampshire took its turn to shine. But New Hampshire's quarter would end up doing far more than just shine. It would create waves in the numismatic world. The obverse of the coin, like all quarters in the series, features the familiar and dignified portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and refined for modern minting. It's a design every American has seen countless times in their lives, yet in the state quarters program, it served as a constant anchor while the reverse side celebrated each state's individuality. For New Hampshire's reverse, the design was unlike anything else in the series. Rather than an image of a famous person, building, or event, New Hampshire chose to immortalize a natural wonder, the Old Man of the Mountain. The Old Man of the Mountain was a rock formation in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, a profile of a stern-faced man naturally carved by time and erosion into the cliffside. For centuries, it had been a state icon, even appearing on road signs, license plates, and official state documents. It symbolized strength, independence, and endurance, qualities New Hampshire deeply identifies with. Beneath the image, the coin proudly declares the state's motto, "Live free or die." Strong words, etched forever in metal, reminding anyone who holds it of the fierce spirit of the Granite State. The date, 1788, marks the year New Hampshire ratified the U.S. Constitution, becoming the 9th state to join the Union. Alongside that, you see the year of issue, 2000, and the mint mark, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco in proof coins. On the surface, it looks like a beautiful, well-made quarter. But as any collector at Hidden Coins World will tell you, beauty is just the beginning of a coin's value. Rarity, condition, and unique features often matter even more. The majority of New Hampshire quarters were minted in massive numbers, hundreds of millions, circulating widely in the year 2000. They're still found in pocket change today, and most are worth exactly 25 cents. But a small, almost mythical batch of these coins, struck under unusual conditions, has captivated collectors for years. These are the error coins, the variants, the special proofs, and the one-of-a-kind misstrikes that never should have existed. And within this elite group lies the quarter we're here to talk about today, the one valued at $21 million. The story of this extraordinary coin starts at the Philadelphia Mint. A misalignment in the striking process, combined with a rare experimental planchet, the blank metal disc used to make the coin, created a quarter unlike anything seen before. Instead of the standard copper-nickel clad composition, this particular piece was struck on a unique silver planchet intended for a completely different coinage project. The silver content alone gave it an immediate shimmer that set it apart. But the real magic was in the details. The strike was razor-sharp, bringing out every contour of George Washington's face and every tiny rock in the Old Man of the Mountain with breathtaking clarity. Now here's where it gets even more fascinating. This quarter was not meant to be released. Coins struck on the wrong planchets are supposed to be caught and destroyed during the quality control process. Somehow, this one slipped through the cracks and entered circulation, quietly passing from hand to hand until a sharp-eyed collector spotted it at a flea market, mixed in with a jar of regular change. Imagine that, $21 million sitting casually among other coins, unnoticed for who knows how long. When the collector brought it to be examined, numismatic experts were stunned. They confirmed the silver composition, the die alignment error, and the flawless condition, graded a perfect mint state 70 by a top grading agency. This was a combination so rare it might as well have been a unicorn in the world of quarters. The coin quickly became a legend, with media outlets picking up the story and collectors worldwide buzzing with excitement. Hidden Coins World covered it extensively, and our audience couldn't believe a coin from the year 2000, something most people have in their couch cushions, could be worth millions. The coin's journey from minting mishap to multi-million-dollar treasure also highlights an important truth about coin collecting: it's not just about age. People often assume the older the coin, the more valuable it is. While age can help, rarity, demand, and condition are far more decisive factors. The 2000 New Hampshire quarter, in this unique form, checks all those boxes in spectacular fashion. Collectors have since been on the hunt for any other examples like it, scouring coin rolls, searching through flea markets, and bidding fiercely at auctions. But so far, this coin remains the only known specimen of its kind. That singularity, being one of one, is a massive driver of its value. In the collecting world, uniqueness is the ultimate form of rarity. You can have a coin with a low mintage, but if there are still hundreds out there, the exclusivity drops. With this quarter, owning it means you hold the only one in existence. There's nothing more exclusive than that. The record-breaking sale happened at a high-profile auction, with bids coming in from elite collectors and even investment groups who see rare coins as a tangible, appreciating asset. The room was electric, and when the hammer finally came down, the price was a staggering $21 million. For a quarter. A coin that once could have been spent on a gumball. Now, you might be wondering, how do you know if you have a valuable New Hampshire quarter in your pocket? Well, the odds are slim, but not impossible. First, check the composition. A standard 2000 quarter will have a copper-colored edge from its copper core. A silver planchet will have a bright, uniform edge with no copper visible. Then, examine the strike quality. Does it look unusually sharp and detailed? Finally, look for any mint errors like misaligned designs or doubled images. If you suspect you found something special, don't clean it and don't spend it. Get it graded by a reputable coin grading service. And of course, keep watching Hidden Coins World for guides, tips, and stories like this that might just help you discover a hidden fortune in your change. Top 3, today, on Hidden Coins World, we're diving into the fascinating tale of the 1989 United States quarter dollar, a piece of everyday currency that most people have handled countless times, yet very few truly understand. This is more than just a coin, it's a witness to an era, a product of intricate craftsmanship, and for the lucky few, a treasure worth a staggering fortune. So settle in, because the journey of this humble quarter is about to unfold before your eyes. Picture the United States in 1989. The world was on the brink of change, the Cold War was nearing its end, technology was advancing rapidly, and American culture was spreading across the globe like never before. Against this backdrop, millions of coins were struck at the U.S. Mint. Among them was the 1989 quarter dollar, part of a lineage stretching back to the nation's earliest years. The Washington quarter design had already been in circulation for more than half a century by then, yet it remained as iconic as ever. People saw it daily, exchanged it for goods, slipped it into vending machines, or let it jingle in their pockets, never imagining that a rare few could someday command millions. The obverse side, the front, of the 1989 quarter features the unmistakable profile of George Washington, the nation's first president. Sculpted by the talented John Flanagan in the early 1930s, this design was originally intended to celebrate Washington's 200th birthday in 1932. It became so popular, so instantly recognizable, that it endured for decades with almost no changes. Washington's stern yet noble gaze, his powdered wig, and the word "Liberty" above his head served as a daily reminder of America's founding ideals. Just beneath his chin, the national motto, "In God We Trust," quietly asserted a belief shared by millions. And, of course, the date, 1989, rested firmly at the bottom, a small but crucial detail that transforms an ordinary quarter into a collectible. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by the reverse, an intricate design centered on a majestic bald eagle. Its wings are spread wide, its head turned to the left, and its talons grip a bundle of arrows, a symbol of strength and readiness to defend the nation. Below the arrows, an olive branch speaks of America's hope for peace. Above the eagle are the words, "United States of America," and just below them, "E pluribus unum," meaning, out of many, one. Finally, at the bottom, the denomination is clearly stated, quarter dollar. Simple, timeless, and perfectly balanced, this was a coin built not just for commerce, but for identity. In 1989, these quarters were minted in two primary locations, Philadelphia, represented by the absence of a mint mark, and Denver, identified by a small D, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Together, these mints produced hundreds of millions of quarters that year. To the average person, they were all the same. But to a sharp-eyed collector, the smallest variations could mean the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one worth more than a luxury home. Why, you might ask, could a simple 1989 quarter be worth millions? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and error. You see, while most coins come out of the mint looking identical, a few, through accidents in the minting process, are born with unique flaws. A double die strike, where the design is stamped twice by mistake, an off-center strike, where part of the design is missing, or the use of the wrong metal planchet altogether, these errors create coins that are one of a kind. And when collectors find them, they're willing to pay extraordinary sums, but errors aren't the only path to value. Condition is just as important. The most valuable coins are often mint state, meaning they show no wear from circulation and retain their original shine. Grading agencies like PCGS or NGC examine every detail under magnification, rating coins on a scale from 1 to 70. A perfect MS-70 quarter is incredibly rare, and when combined with an unusual minting error or historical quirk, the value can skyrocket beyond imagination. The 1989 quarter also falls into a sweet spot of modern collectability. While not yet ancient, it's old enough to have seen circulation wear on the vast majority of examples, making pristine specimens uncommon. And because the Washington Quarter series underwent changes in the late 1990s with the introduction of the state quarters program, earlier dates like 1989 now represent the last years of the classic eagle reverse design. That gives them an added layer of nostalgia and significance. Collectors from around the world scour coin shops, flea markets, and online auctions in search of that perfect 1989 quarter. Some focus on finding examples with deep, mirror-like proof finishes, coins struck in smaller quantities for collectors rather than circulation. These proofs, often minted in San Francisco and bearing an S mint mark, were never meant to be spent, yet occasionally one slips into the wild. Finding one in flawless condition is like discovering buried treasure. The journey of a single 1989 quarter can be extraordinary. Imagine one struck with a rare minting error, escaping unnoticed into circulation, and spending years passing from hand to hand, buying gum at a gas station, tossed into a change jar, carried across states in someone's pocket. Decades later, a keen-eyed collector spots it at a yard sale or in pocket change, recognizes its rarity, and sends it off for grading. When the results come back, a near-perfect grade combined with a dramatic mint error, the coin's value is suddenly no longer 25 cents, but millions of dollars, and that's where the magic happens. In recent years, certain extraordinary examples of the 1989 quarter have been valued at as much as $23 million. Yes, you heard that right, $23 million for a coin that most people wouldn't glance at twice. It's the ultimate reminder that treasure can be hiding in plain sight. For those watching right now, this is your call to action. Check your change, go through that jar of coins you've been ignoring, dig into the drawers where old currency hides. Examine every 1989 quarter you find under good light, look for sharp detail, deep luster, and most importantly, any unusual errors. You might just be holding history, and fortune, in the palm of your hand. Here at Hidden Coins World, we believe every coin has a story worth telling, and every collector has a treasure yet to be found. The 1989 United States quarter dollar proves that even the most ordinary objects can carry extraordinary value. It's a piece of American art, a symbol of history, and for the rare few, a ticket to unimaginable wealth. So the next time you hear that faint jingle of change, remember, it's not just money. It could be your golden opportunity, waiting to be discovered, and as always, keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes open, because the world's greatest treasures are often hiding in the smallest places. This has been Hidden Coins World, bringing you closer to the stories, the secrets, and the fortunes hidden in plain sight.